The first option we've got is your traditional hand painted look. If the painting's going to be really daunting for you, another way that we can use the moulds is to actually use it with your piping nozzle to impress the circle so that you've got a guide to be able to paint around. The other option that we have is we've actually used a bowl tool to indent the socket whilst modelling paste was still wet, and then you can apply with your paintbrush into the indentation. Another way that we can put the eyes on, and this gives you a variety of different sizes that you can use. You can see the variety of sizes there. Now the size of the eyes really changes the age. Big eyes maybe make it younger, more feminine, so you can use whichever is appropriate. And all we've done there is we've used dried discs of fondant, black fondant, that we've actually cut out from different size piping nozzles. The last one is another option where we've actually just painted rather than put the eyes in. We've got a sleeping baby here and we've painted it very subtly to give you the sleeping impression. We're just going to go through the hand painting method to get the eyes and the lips and a little bit of blush. I've got a little makeup applicator, and this is some of a nice pink kind of tone to place on the cheeks. So immediately you put some colour on the cheeks, that totally transforms your model, and then just blend that in. So that's the start of the look that we're wanting to achieve. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to use some alcohol to use as a painting medium. What we need is just to have a very, very subtle colour. So you can see that I'm just taking this from the edge and taking the paintbrush to a point. So what I would suggest you do is just have a comfortable seat, rest your hands, and then start to paint with your fine brush. So you can see it doesn't take much to get the eyebrows in. If you rest your finger on your thumb that you're painting, and that give you a little bit more control to get those fine lines. So we're going to go straight in and we're going to do the lips. So again, we don't want anything too fierce. It just needs to be to get a nice natural look. So just use your paintbrush to go around there to get that, so you think that that's just enough colour. Okay, so we've got that one done, and then we're going on to the eyes. Now the eyes, you do need to have quite a loaded brush, but not one where it's too runny. So it needs to be quite a thick consistency. This is just a powdered colour that I've used to let down with the alcohol, but it's important that you then taper your brush again to that nice fine point. And we're going to start almost halfway to the top there. So you've got your little dot on your eye. And what we're doing is just moving a little bit of the colour around. Because the brush was loaded, it means that you've got a little bit more colour to play with. So once you're happy with that, I'm going to take off a little bit of this black, and what I want is just to get very, very fine detail. So we just want a fine line running across the top of the eye. If you're at all frightened of doing hand painting, just think about it. Give yourself a try. It's really great fun, and you'll be surprised what you can do. So the second method of painting that I want to show you is how we've actually used the pipe and cone to create the socket of the eye whilst it was still wet, and then left it to dry. So because I've got those guidelines there, and I can see that we're just going to paint within the line. So I've got that on there like that, and then we're going to be using, again I'm just going to put a little bit blush on the cheeks when I've finally done it, but we're going to be using this very pale brown, not too dark, because we just want to give the detail of the eyebrows and maybe around the top of the lid. So I'm just going to move that just to add a little bit depth, detail, a little bit shading. So I'm going to do the eyebrows in exactly the same way, and again the length, the width of the eyebrows can denote the age. So again, maybe as with little ones, you would just be doing something like that. Or if you wanted an older look. And I tend to want to paint from the outside, from the inside to the out, and you get that finer line around there. So a slightly different method is using the ball tool. So we're going to actually use the ball tool in the model whilst it's still wet to create that socket area. So I've got one here that we've done, we've left it to dry, and you can see that the sockets are there ready to apply the paint. So what we're wanting to do is just to guide the paintbrush into the socket. Just jiggle that around a bit, and you can see how that immediately creates that eye. You can, if you want, paint a black line across the top, way above the eye, just a very fine black line going across like that. And that's your completed head using the ball tool. Another method of painting the eyes, or actually forming the eyes, is to use the piping nozzles, different sizes. You can see the different size eyes that we've got here. So different size piping nozzles would then give you those sizes of pupils. So what you need to do is use some of your black, or perhaps your blue if you want to have blue eyes. The important thing with this is to actually roll that so that it's very, very thin. So don't worry about getting corn flour onto the surface because that will easily brush off. What we need to get is as thin a piece of either your modelling paste or your fondant as you possibly can get. So it's just simply a question of cutting that out and then using either your little bowl tool or some applicator like that. So you can cut this out whilst it's still wet, but you can see there the size of the eyes that we're going to get. The important thing to remember is that the thinner you make it, the less bulk you're adding to the black area of the eye, and that's why we're wanting to get it as thin as we possibly can. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to leave this to dry. So what you end up with is all of these of the same size, and that's again an important part of creating your face. So we've got some modelling paste here that I'm going to make up the head. So again, we've got to really knead this so that it's nice and flexible. And the method is to just roll it right in the palms of your hands. Then it's not going to be marked by any jewellery or wedding ring, anything like that that you have on. So you're just warming this up to get the smoothest ball that you can possibly get. So you would, again, we're going to use our corn flour. Dust it out, tap out the excess, and then this is going to be placed directly into the head. So placing that in, just applying pressure to the neck part, and then holding the sides, not too tight, but just keeping them in position there. We're going to use this cone tool to make the neck, and then we're going to release the figure from the mould. Check that you haven't got any lines around the outside edge. So what I would use is a little bit of glue to actually place that down onto there. Something like this, your little ball tool would come in very handy. The important thing is that you're going to be able to place the eye, and because the model is still soft, we can push that directly into where you want the eye to be. And once you're happy with the position of it, then you can really push that in so that the pupils are actually level with the eye. And that's why it's important to actually get the black as fine as you can so that you don't have this actually protruding from the eye socket. So we would then just go ahead with the painting of it. So to create something beautiful like this little sleeping figure that we have here, we're going to start again with a completely dry model and a completely dry paintbrush. I've taken some of the powdered food colour and put it on my tile. It needs to be virtually non-existent, but the difference that this makes is very, very good. So hardly anything at all, but what you're doing is you're giving depth and dimension to the eyes. So then we're going to move on, and with our food colour we're going to add a very, very subtle line around the outside. So I'm going from the inside, you start right on the inside and take that line around there. See that we've got the baby sleeping quite peacefully there. And there we have your sleep baby.